My name's Chris Griffith, and I have 6 tips for home sellers who are trying to sell a piece of real estate that has a tenant in it. I'm Chris Griffith. Here's 6 great ways that you can sell your real estate when you have a tenant in place and keep your tenant on your side. The first thing is work out a time frame with them. Let them know what is expected of them. In that, number one, you can work out some sort of a meeting between your great tenant and the next property owner to see if they'd like to be on board with each other. The tenant might just stay and the next seller might be grateful to have a tenant. If not, you might work out some sort of time frame and promise them, look, if my property goes under contract, I'm willing to have a 60-day close that'll afford you enough time to be able to comfortably find another place and move on down the road. Half the battle with the tenants is making sure they understand what their future holds so they don't feel desperate and they don't feel as if they're going to be homeless. Number 2 is if you do lease with the expectation that the property is going to be for sale and that you are going to have showings. That works with seasonal, which are our winter rentals for the rest of you that don't know what our seasonal rentals schedules are like, and even the annuals. You know, sometimes you can even go to a month-to-month lease so that the tenant can stay, and then you know, if they do find something, they can leave, or if they do decide to stay with the next seller, they can actually form some sort of a longer term lease. Number 3, pick a date. Pick a date that's best for the tenant to show property. That could be Tuesday afternoon because they take the kids to piano lessons. That might be Saturday because they have a church meeting. If you promise them that showings are only going to happen on Tuesday and Saturday, for example, you can put the showings on those days. It reduces the amount of inconvenience that the tenant has, and they are far more cooperative. Number 3, make sure that they have the control over the situation, or even the illusion of control. You know, half the battle is they're worried that real estate agents are going to be overrunning the house, that people are going to be walking in on them without their permission. And one of the things I do to keep tenants happy is to give them the blue super box. It does not have to stay outside. Look, you put this in the door, you put it in a drawer in the hallway. When I call you and schedule an appointment for Tuesday at 3 p.m., you're going to approve it. You're going to let me know that it's okay. And after it's approved, you put the blue box on. Nobody can come in unless you put the blue box out. That gives them this sense of security, and they are far more cooperative because they understand exactly how the showings are going to go, and they don't feel like their privacy is being invaded. Let's see, what are we on? 5. Number 5, you might even want to pay them. And, you know, I don't mean cold hard cash. You can take a little bit off of the rent for every showing. Number 1, this means that your agent should really be screening the potential buyers to make sure that they are fit to show the property. And number 2, with this agreement, that is that the tenants kind of pick up and collect and make sure that the home is in the best showing condition, and you will reward them with either $25 off their rent for a showing or a gift card to Amazon for $25. It gives them an incentive to pick up. It gives them an incentive to show the property, and they don't feel as if they're being taken advantage of for this inconvenience. The 6th thing is make sure that you give them enough notice for showings. You're going to get those folks that are sitting in front of a property that call and say, hey, can we show it? We're out front right now. And you just have to have an understanding with the landlord and the tenant and the real estate agent, all 3 people realizing that no showings are going to happen without 24 or 48 hours notice to keep everybody comfortable. Every once in a while, you may already have a showing on schedule at 4 p.m. Call the tenant and also schedule a 4:30 and piggyback them. But for the most part, just having some sort of anticipation of how it's going to work makes everybody feel great. So I'm going to put those top 6 tips in the remarks below, and maybe even link out to an article or 2 on our blog. If you have questions, give me a call. And if you'd like to know more about those 6 tips, well, call or text anytime.